10 win. You know,
Right.
So that's why I think that.
And this division came down to a 10-win season last year. So
my cellar dweller. Do I have to say it?
no.
The Lions.
No, you don't have to say it if you don't want to. Yeah, obviously the Lions, though. I mean, they're not going to go 0-16 again, or at least I hope not.
It's kind of that they can't possibly go
Yeah.
0-16 again.
I refuse to believe that a team can go 0-16 in consecutive
refuse to believe
seasons.
Juan Pablo will finish with no top fives. I refuse to believe that the Lions will go winless for 2 years.
Yeah, I do believe, actually, I think they'll win a few games, but not like, I'm not saying they won't be anywhere near 500, but I don't think they'll be terrible.
Yeah.
Or as terrible. Okay, who would be the most valuable player for the NFC North next year? Your prediction.
I actually went way out on a limb, and I'll probably look stupid by saying this, but I said that the MVP is going to be Devin Hester.
Okay, that is out on a limb. Kudos to you for trying, though, sir.
I just want it to be different.
No, that's good. I'm glad.
I think that with there's a little behind this. I think that with Cutler, Hester will improve, and I think that he'll be a really huge. I think those two together will be a huge improvement.
It could be. I mean, if he.
You were really surprised by that, weren't you?
Yeah, I thought you were gonna steal my pick. Honestly, I was gonna give you crap for it. My MVP is Aaron Rodgers. I really believe in this kid. I do. I believed in him last year. I believe in him this year. It was not his fault they didn't win the division. They didn't win enough games. And if they can just put the pieces around him, he is going to take that offense off, I think. And I think, really, I honestly do. Sitting behind Favre for 4 years did him wonders. He came in ready to play, and I think he's just going to get better in this year.
I agree. I completely agree with that. I have always been a fan of his, and I think that I still maintain that what the Packers did was right by saying, no, you retired.
Actually, I started liking the Packers a whole lot more once they got rid of Favre. All right, who's your least valuable player?
My least valuable player is the Lions organization.
The whole Lions organization?
Yes. Because I think they're pitiful, and
well, they got rid of Matt Millen. What more do you want?
I put Lions organization. I put Lions team, and I changed it to Lions organization.
Okay. Well, I have this. This can go both ways. Should Brett Favre not sign in Minnesota, the least valuable player will be Dante Culpepper of the Detroit Lions. He was terrible last year. He's going to be terrible this year, and he doesn't belong on an NFL team anymore. That being said, if Brett Favre signs with the Minnesota Vikings, Brett Favre will be the least valuable player of the NFC North next year, because he might look really good early on, but just like last year, he's going to sink him when it counts.
Yep.
And the event. All right, so give us a record, Chris, or give us the records.
I obviously in fourth place have the Lions. This is the big thing: is how many wins. I have the Lions at 2-14.
Oh, bold! 2 wins.
They'll get 2 wins.
You sure?
As we talked about with the Packers, I do think they're going to improve this year. They're going to finish third, but they're going to be 8-8. They're going to be 8-8.
Okay.
Next year, there'll be some more. Call me in a year and it'll be different.
Right.
This is where I was really torn, but because of what we've said about Cutler and the probably not taking them to the promised land this year, I have the Bears in second at 9-7. I believe the same as last year.
Yes, they were 9-7 last year.
And I have the Vikings at 10-6, same as last year at number 1.
Pretty much, you gave 2 wins each to the Packers and the Lions, and you kept the other 2 the same.
But
I'm just saying that's
the math. Yeah.
In summation.
Yes.
All right. Fifth place or fourth place team.
They
might as well be the fifth place team.
I do just want to say one other thing. I do think that this division again is going to be a 10-win season.
Okay. Actually, in my list, I have that. Not agree with you, but okay. Obviously, in fourth, the Detroit Lions. Though I'm giving them a lot more credit. I think there's just no way they're repeating that horrendous season. I think they'll win 5 games.
Wow.
We make it sound like really they were close to winning a lot of games last year. The NFL's a games of inches. Games swing on like one play or one big moment and stuff like that. I mean, all they need is a little luck to swing them in their direction again. I mean, they could have taken down. They had a really close game against the Vikings last year,
and they were close against the Packers in that last game.
Yeah, I mean, they could have won the last couple of games or whatever. I mean, I think this is a team that could get it together for 5 wins. That being said, I mean, it probably won't be. I could see them starting out like 1-7, and then win the other 4 late in the season as they get experience, especially if the Stafford kid ends up being good.
I think we forget that this is the same franchise that a few years ago started 6-2.
Yeah, and finished 7-9.
Yeah,
but still, yes. I mean, it was like 08 they did that. I'm sorry, not 08, 07 they did that. So it was just a year earlier. They looked like they could be potentially a playoff team, and then they completely fell apart. In third, either way, and there be the Minnesota Vikings. Their non-Favre record is 8-8, and their potential Favre record would be 9-7. I think Favre will win one game early on that Rosenfels or Tavares Jackson will not win. But once it gets late in the season, he'll pretty much be playing as good as them or worse. So, and I think he'll be the reason why they finish 8-8 or 9-7. Third, I have the Chicago Bears, and I think they'll go 10-6 with Cutler. I think he'll be a decent player and all that, and I think they'll get some. I think there will be improvement. But I think, and I said this back in May, I think the Green Bay Packers win the division this year with 11-5 record. I believe in the Green Bay Packers, and I believe in Aaron Rodgers, and I believe he will lead them to the playoffs.
Wow, interesting.
I do. I believed in them last year though, so don't listen to me. But
yeah, no, that's.
I'm no expert.
That's interesting.
All right. We have top 5 storylines with NFC North. We got to knock this out real fast, Chris. So,
okay. Do you just want me to just say them? Just go straight through and just say my 5? Want to do it that way?
No, I think we can just flip off. We just have to go back and forth.
Okay. My number 5 is how Stafford will play out with the Lions.
Interesting. I didn't even have that on mine. Actually, I have what will Ryan Grant rebound, because he had that really big season in his first year. He had a decent drop off. He wasn't nearly as good last year. I wonder if he'll come back from that.
My number 4 is kind of playing off of what you said about the Packers. How will Rodgers play out in his second year with the Packers?
Okay. Number 4 was Packer rebound, which is kind of the same thing. Yeah. I think they were a much better team than their 6-10 record showed. I think the big storyline will be mid-season, especially like, oh, look how good the Packers are doing, even though they were terrible last year or whatever.
My number 3 is the Jay Cutler trade.
Okay.
And how it will play out. I
have that, but I do not have that low.
Okay. What's your number 3?
Number 3 is how many games will Detroit win, if any? I think, like I said, I think they'll win more than people expect. That being said, people expect you predicted 2, they can win 3, and that'd be more. I think they'll win enough that people will go, wow, look at the Detroit Lions. They're not completely terrible.
My number 2, I put Favre of Our Lives.
I have Favre Watch 09.
I didn't want to take that, so I came up with another one.
Well, as it's not trademarked to me or anything, I could share it. Yeah, until basically this opening game of the season. Actually, even mid-season, I could see it happening. We could still be talking about whether or not he will. I mean, would it really surprise you if he doesn't sign with them and then ends up midway through the season signing like a 1-year deal to come back and play quarterback because they're hitting the panic button?
Yeah. My number 1, how high will the amount of losses go for the Detroit Lions?
You're just malicious. You're just enjoying this way too much.
I'm going to say this right now. It's not number 1 worthy, but I wanted to put it number 1.
Okay.
You've joked a couple times earlier in our show, so I didn't put how many wins. That's the key.
You put
how high will the losses be for the Lions.
I know. I'm like trying to be nice to him, because I actually genuinely felt bad for them last year. I was like, oh, I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
I wanted to see him go 0-16.
I wanted the Dolphins to the year before. I really didn't like them. That was all Mercury Morse, though. That guy couldn't stop talking. My number 1 was Jay Cutler to the Bears. I think that's the biggest story in the NFC North this year, and it's going to be the one to look at.
It is. It is the number 1 story.
What? Number 3? I thought for sure you'd have number 1.
No, it is. I was a little weird today.
Yeah, all right.
When am I not, though?
It was an odd episode. We ended up talking about something not sports related again. Anyway, that concludes another excellent episode of Racin and Stuff, so to speak. As always, want to thank Paul Sauer, Jamie Lara, and everybody at Waubonsie Community College and Fox Valley Television, specifically Mike Reynolds, for being so gracious and putting us on their network and helping us out. And I worked to basically up to the start of us getting here, so I get here and everything's set up for me, and I'm just like, oh, those guys are so nice and great. So yeah, and if he's here, Chenier Perkins, I'm sure he is, because every time I say that, I look up and I see him in the window looking at us waving, hey guys. But if not, Chenier, for the days that he does help us, I appreciate it too. Yeah. Chris, contact information. Chenier just waved to me through the window.
We are now on Facebook. So search Racin and Stuff on Facebook and become a fan. And there's updates on there pretty much every day. So check us out. You can subscribe to us and check out all of our shows every Monday on YouTube. YouTube.com/Racin and Stuff. Mm-hmm. You can also send us any wardrobe choices, production notes, car suggestions that we should put out here.
As long as they're cheap. I'm not paying money for good cars.
Questions, concerns. Racin and Stuff at gmail.com. And yeah, you can hit us up there, and you can power search us on iTunes and download our podcast every Monday and Friday.
All right. So as always, I'm Doug.
And I am Chris.
We'll talk to you later.
See ya.